What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Welcome to the Just Gonna Say It podcast on this Tuesday afternoon. You'll notice our audio setup is a little different this week because my cable failure from Thursday night has taken full effect and we have to go with a backup. So here we are. Welcome to the podcast. Today is Dumb Questions Volume 8, I think. So basically what we do is we just take a bunch of questions from the comment section over the last few weeks. And we, basically, just share them with you. Some of them are funny. Some of them, are actually really good questions, and some of them are not really good questions. And we're just going to chat about it because, that's what we do. We do this every once in a while. It's super fun. This is also an ad-free live stream because all of our live streams are ad-free. I'll turn the ads on afterwards. So if you want to help support the channel, you are welcome to use a super chat to ask a question. You can ask a question without using a super chat if you want. You can also use the links below to support the channel. So all the links in the description, a lot of them, there'll be affiliate stuff and whatever. And that'll help support the channel if you use those. Hope you are doing well. I just saw my email and almost peed a little with excitement like a dog. Sounds good. Yeah, our Cerakote pickups are shipping today and tomorrow, so that's pretty cool. Pretty fun stuff. A couple things I want to mention to you if you have shopped around the Dylan Talks Tone website at all in the past, because we don't have sponsors for this thing. It's just you with your super chats and views and likes and subscribes and, just the time that you spend here, as well as the support of the aforementioned links in the description. We rearranged Dylan Talks Tone a bunch. It doesn't really look any different. However, the way it's all sorted out and the menu across the top and all that stuff is way, way different. And so what we did is we made it easier for those of you that are shopping for pickup parts. Let's see here real quick. We got a super chat from Dave. Thank you so much for that, Dave. He says, ad-free is cool. Thanks, Dylan. Thank you, Dave. So we have separate pickup parts. We have separated pickup parts and electronics parts. If you want custom covers for your pickups, we are selling some of these custom designs. They will rotate through because just like the pickups, we don't make lots of them at a time. So if you go over there and you look at pickup parts and you'll see a cool pickup cover that you might want, like a Paisley humbucker cover or whatever, better grab it because we don't make a ton of them at the same time, right? And then the other thing is the electronic stuff we separated out. Apparel, we also separated out so you can sort by hats and shirts and accessories, stuff like that. Made it a lot easier. So it's not just one huge page of crap. And then the other thing is everybody's always looking for me to have sales. Everybody wants me to have sales. So what we did was we put a kind of a last chance clearance sale. And basically what I'm doing is there's kind of leftover stuff from maybe when we've done these short runs and I've got one left or something. A lot of that stuff is on there and it's marked down relatively substantially. So that's pretty cool. And then of course, if you're on Patreon or if you're a YouTube member, you get a discount anyway. So that can pile on top of there and you get a pretty good deal. So, those are all the things. So if you're looking for a sale, check it out. All right. Let's go ahead and get into some of these here questions. Let's see. Not that one. Okay. Here we go. First one. Just wondering about the neck plate. So this is on our video from yesterday, actually. Just wondering about the neck plate. We tightened up car wheels in a star pattern 13524 to get the wheel seated correctly. Should we do the neck plate 1324? You did it 1234. Just wondering if it makes a difference. Cheers from Australia. So we discussed this a little bit in the podcast or in the video yesterday. Torque is not a thing when you're bolting a neck on a guitar. Okay. Contrary to popular belief and all of the Luddites from the 60s and everybody who says that you have to have this freaking neck joint from hell, it doesn't matter. If the neck fits and it ships, Okay. So like if you push on it and it is seated, it is seated. Pressing it harder isn't going to do anything. Okay. It's so funny to me how much big of a deal people do make out of this. Tighten it up and just give it a little tug. Now, if it's so tight that you're having to use the screws to pull it in, it's too tight. That neck should slide in there and go thump right in. Sort of like when you put a well-fitting set of cowboy boots on. You just pull on the hoops, pull on the loops and go thump, and it goes right in. If for some reason you have, like I said, if you've got to force it at all, it's not good. Okay. Do not let people on the internet tell you anything different, because you do not need to have that. It just doesn't need to be that way. So going back to the whole going around in a circle situation, the reason you're doing that with an engine or with a wheel is because you have a lot of torque there, and you're actually microscopically, more or less, deforming whatever you're bolting together, or you can deform it. So it's the same thing with a guitar. You could, but you're also not applying torque. Okay. You're not putting 150 foot-pounds on it. You're literally just going like this and going like that much. And that's all you need. So don't stress about that so much. I still tighten the neck like a car wheel. Yeah. I mean, you do it as a habit, but don't worry about it if you didn't, don't freak out if you forgot to do it or if you, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I think he's asking is it something that's necessary for us to do? Now if you're over tightening stuff, then you can do damage. You can bend the neck plate. You can push the screws you can push the neck plate into the body of the guitar. You can crack the finish. You can strip out neck holes, which are not fun because then you have to refill everything and etc. Yeah. Can you do a Telecaster pickup or pick guard like the Jimmy Page Dragon Telly? Not sure if it's a mirror. I can get those. Yeah, I think I can get those. All right, let's go into this next one. Let's see. Classic vibe versus pickups versus boutique pickups. Matt, do a blind A/B test next time. The stock pickups sounded good. The new ones just sounded hotter. This is a cool comment. He obviously meant to be critical about this, but let's chat about this a little bit. So, our pickups are actually not as hot, and this is where we get into this whole "I want hotter pickups" or whatever conversation, because our Telly pickups are actually lower output than most Telly pickups that are out there, especially the ones that come in the classic vibe stuff. So why do they sound hotter? Because there's more there. You've got a better frequency response. You've got a wider dynamic range. You're not losing as much to mud, basically, is what's happening. And you're hitting the amp harder because there's just more there. It's not because the pickups are hotter, because they're not. They're like physically not hotter. But this is where that whole resistance thing is sort of a farce, right? Like, don't worry about that so much. So what you're hearing is that the pickup is doing more than the cheap one was doing. That's really it. Also, what was the tool you used for the tuner holes on the Telly video? It looks really useful. The laser logo looks amazing. So that was a center punch that I got from, like a center hole punch, not like our pickup, that I got from Snap-on many, many years ago. I've had that for probably 20 years. Let's see. Next. Here, let me delete some of these so we can keep up. Okay. Why I don't review cheap gear. I'm apparently the wrong viewer. I only expect a reviewer to be honest. Your brand is too, not enough O's, expensive for me. So let's chat about this whole thing. There was a lot of comments on my last video when we talked about why we don't, on the last week's podcast, when we talked about why we don't review expensive gear. Let's be super clear here. I'm not against expensive gear. I just don't want to review it. It's just not it's not in my space to do. However, does that mean that you are the wrong audience if you like inexpensive or cheap gear? Absolutely not. For two reasons. One, because learning about guitar stuff's learning about guitar stuff. It doesn't matter how much a guitar costs, right? So as long as you are genuine in that and you want to just learn about guitar stuff, then you're just learning about guitar stuff because that's what we do. If you're not genuine in that and you like are trying to be better than everybody and you have bad self-esteem and you're like trying to talk down to others because they have a more expensive guitar than you and you're one of these people who says that, you know, it's not fair that people have more money than you and blah, 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 and communism and all those things, then maybe you aren't. But I have faith that most people are here because they want to learn about guitar stuff. So, you know, I'm sure you are. Plus the other reason is, don't you just like cool stuff? Like, I'm sure that in some other hobby, you look at expensive cars, you watch Top Gear, you read magazines and learn about fancy things that you can't afford. I do it too. We all do it, right? That's what those top 10 videos on YouTube are always hilarious. Like the top 10 most expensive motorhomes. I still watch them. I think they're cool, you know? And it's okay to aspire to cool things. So just, you know, yeah, I'm glad you're here. You are part of what we do, and I appreciate you. So yeah, you're not the wrong audience. Okay, we released a t-shirt last week. Here's an early drop for the week. Thanks for all your support. Please buy some merch. I'll invite you to do the same thing as well. And somebody said, this is just AI generated slop. So interestingly, I don't use AI for any content creation. We don't use it for anything. I will use it sometimes. What I will use AI for, I'll tell you what I use AI for. I will use it for, for SEO on the website, because that really helps. I will also use it for searching for subjects to see what the most popular subjects are, like on YouTube right now and stuff. Some of those tools are really, really good. However, you can literally hit a button and it'll be like, here, this will write your script for your video. I never use that stuff. I never use it to design merch. I never use it to design anything. We always do everything as a human being. Some of those tools are really, really helpful. We were using it to come up with terms and names and it quickly for like synonyms and stuff to name our new website, our new laser business, which is called burntperfect.com. And so that, you know, that took a while to do. And so we did a bunch of searching around for that kind of stuff, which was really fun. But we don't typically, we don't typically use it for actual creatives. I don't believe in that, at least not yet. The real difference between EMGs and Fishman Fluence Moderns. Remember when I cut some pickups in half? What a waste. So here's my question. He obviously thinks it's dumb that I wasted a pickup, but how are you going to know what's inside? Somebody's got to cut it apart, you know? Any thoughts on noise canceling Telly pickups? Yeah, they suck. I don't like them at all. Let's see. It's so funny to see a Ferrari getting the same recall as my car. There's a Goldilocks area where something can be just right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I'm not a fan of noiseless pickups at all. 5 Telly mods under $100. Do-it-yourself Telly upgrades. What is a no-load tone pot? This is a good question. So no-load tone pots are on your tone circuit. The way a tone pot works is there is a carbon track that goes all the way around the pot. And it doesn't matter what it's made of, but basically there's a metal finger that travels around and presses against that carbon circle. And wherever you are on that carbon circle is where your tone pot is, or where you're, like as you turn the knob. It varies the resistance, therefore varies how much signal's going to ground, so therefore it varies the tone. A no-load tone pot has a spot at the very end where it's missing. And so it takes the tone pot out of the circuit when the knob is all the way up. And usually there's the ones we carry, the Bourne's ones that we carry have a detent on the end, so that when you go like 9.5 and then it clicks to 10 kind of, and it comes off the end there's a little ball in there and it has a detent. So it comes off the end. And so it takes the tone circuit out of the guitar completely. It really opens up a guitar depending on the setup. Now, sometimes you won't hear a lot of difference, but depending on the pickups, depending on, the cable you're using, depending on the rest of the signal chain, etc., it can make a huge difference when you cut the capacitor completely out of the circuit. Contrary to popular belief, when the knobs are on 10, they're still doing things. And so when you pull the knob out of the circuit completely by having that little spot missing at the end of that little racetrack, it adds a little bit. It's kind of fun. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Epiphone Les Paul versus Gibson Les Paul. What's the real difference? You literally wasted 30 minutes of my life pissing on the Epiphone. Not really. I didn't. What's really funny about that video is those Epiphone Les Pauls are fantastic. In fact, we just did one in here, right? A few months ago. I think Rob has it now. An unbelievable guitar. They are very, very good. However, they are built to a price, right? Therefore, the materials must be purchased at a lower price in order to build the guitar to a lower price, which means they have to have lower quality wood, laminate tops, cheaper finishes, cheaper hardware, cheaper screws, cheaper everything. Everything has to be cheaper. And it is cheaper. Like everything is, it's built down to a price. Does that make it a bad guitar? No. They're fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. But they are different. They are not the same as an American Les Paul. Let's see. In my opinion, Dylan should make a new demo video of his P90s and put them in multiple situations to show them off more. I'm on the fence about what to throw in my Gibby. I mean, put whatever you want in there. I'm going to be super cocky about this and tell you, you just need to get them. There's enough. Go to the website and read reviews. I didn't put those reviews up there. I do not curate those reviews. They just go up there. They're the most reviewed pickup on the website by people all over the world. They are the best pickups. They are the best P90s in the world. And so, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Live unboxing of the Mike McCready Stratocaster. The person doing this review has no ear for tone. He is producing some truly cringeworthy sounds. Poor playing is doing no favors to Fender. Dylan may talk tone, but he doesn't know how to play it. Don't blame the guitar. Okay, so I want to point something out for those of you that watch what we do. You see right up here where it says unboxing, right there? Live unboxing right there. There's a difference between a unboxing and a review. I feel that it is very important to be super transparent about everything we do so that people trust what we say. And one of the things that I think that other people on other web YouTubers and everybody should do is to be super honest about how the guitar is when it comes out of the box. So therefore, that's why we unbox guitars live. So that if there's a problem, if there's something wrong with it, if there's whatever, how bad is the setup? How good is the setup? I don't care about setup though, because that's not relevant. But setup is not relevant to how good a guitar is. Okay. Whether the guitar has sharp frets, whether it's been, damaged, any of those kind of things, I like to see that and see it honestly. So therefore, I unbox it with you. We do it live, and I think that's really important to do. However, I would challenge any of you to just go ahead and hit live on your phone right now, not right now, but after the podcast, and tag me, and play live on YouTube. I would challenge you to do that. It's not easy. And it's not about the playing. He's right. We talk tone here. It's not about the playing. I'll tell everybody. I always tell you, I make you sound better than I sound. It's not about me to be a good guitar player. It's about me to be able to listen to you and make sure that what you're getting is making you sound good. And that is what I care about, and that's what I focus on. And that's why I could tell this dude, just put these pickups in his guitar. Don't worry about it. Because that's what I focus on. It's not about how good a guitar player I am. And if you say, well, you suck, so therefore you must not know tone, you can think that if you want. I don't care. Because you're not right. That you are incorrect. You are wrong. Because there's a lot of folks that are not race car drivers, but they are racing engineers. And for example, there are a lot of folks that design firearms who are not competition shooters. There are a lot of folks who are architects but don't build houses, whatever. Being able to see and understand the nuance of what goes into this stuff is really important. And that's a skill in itself. I will leave the skill of playing to you. And I am very happy to do that. I have zero ego about that. I'll never be as good as a lot of you. So, and I have no problem with that. Will my pickups come laser engraved, or is it that only on the newer orders? They will come laser engraved on the bottom. So we will never at this point, I will tell you right now, we will never at this point stop laser engraving the cover with so that's our kind of our quality control. When we put the pickups in the package and send them out, right at the very end, before they go on the package, I actually write my name by hand on top of the pickup. So when you see that, Dylan, on the top of the pickup, that's my name. Somebody emailed me the other day and said, will you sell me a Telecaster pickup with no logo on the top? And I told him no. I would rather turn the money down than have a pickup come out of here with no logo on it. I don't do that. Now, if you're a guitar builder and you're going to buy a bunch from me, there is a fee involved in white labeling, and that's an industry standard, and I will do that. Well, we've done it for others. But my stuff that comes out and it's mine, it will always have my name on it, 100%. And it will not be laser engraved. I will do it myself. Now on the bottom, the base plate on the bottom will have our logo on it. In case somebody ever, misplaces a cover or doesn't like that and changes the cover, it'll be engraved in the base plate. So there's no way for you to get around knowing that it's my name. So, because if you're not proud enough of what I do to buy my stuff, don't buy it. That's what I figure. And I know that you might not like that, but if you're not proud enough to have it in your guitar, don't buy it. I'm totally fine with that. I want people to enjoy and love what we do. And I know that there is a fair amount of attitude attached to that statement, but I really, really, really believe in it. I really believe in it. Super important. All right, next. This Saturday is going to be cool. Talking about our drops on Saturday. You're in the wrong business. Go make kids' toys or something. Apparently this dude doesn't like the fact that we're doing all these custom pickups and pick guards and custom engraving and stuff. I don't know why, because it's really fun. It's fun for me to do. And I know that many of you are very traditional and you're just like, I want a regular, plain, whatever. That's okay. That's totally fine. But if you know somebody that's into this stuff and wants it a little flashier, wants it a little cool, or if you have an idea, a lot of the stuff that we do with these pickups lately, it's not that I want to sell a bunch of them with camo on them or something. It's literally like, I want you to have ideas. We are working on a way to facilitate personalizing what we do. Okay. So we're working on a way that you could order a humbucker and a drop down and pick a pattern from a bunch of patterns. Or if you call me and say, hey, I'd like to have a picture of my dead aunt on there. I'd like to have my dog died and I'd like to have my dog's face on a humbucker. I'll do it. Doesn't matter. If you have an idea, we can do it. It's not free, but it's actually not that expensive to do. So, we're working on that. Just like when you buy back in the old days, when you buy an iPod, or today when you buy a phone, or you buy, any of that kind of stuff for an extra $25 or $30 or whatever, let's say, add right here and you can personalize some stuff. Why not? We could do it. So just if you have ideas, let me know. Yeah, I think it's super important. I saw Gibson offers a Les Paul with humbuckers and switching choices, allowing to get some sort of P90 tone by coil tapping. Is that realistic, or better to just get P90s if you want P90s? So that's a tough question because they're a different format of pickup. So you can't put them in the same hole. So I would say you need two guitars. I mean, it sounds dumb, but okay, I got that Les Paul right there. It's got humbuckers in it, right? I'm not going to do anything to that guitar to make it sound like P90s. It's just not going to go. It's putting a square peg in a round hole. It's putting a rectangle peg in a different rectangle hole. It's just not going to work. And the reason is because the construction of the magnets are different. There's more magnets in a P90. P90s are hotter. They're a single coil. They're not a humbucker. They're a different shape. They're a different height. They're everything. Everything's different. And so it's just not reasonable to try to get one tone out of one and make it into another, right? It just doesn't make sense. So this is one situation where I would say, if you really want that, get a guitar with a P90 in it, for sure. Let's see. If I have 3 or 4 pedals that are buffered, is it going to be drastically affect the tone versus just one buffer at the beginning of the chain? I would recommend one buffer at the beginning of the chain. Now, that is a blanket statement that doesn't always apply based on what the pedals are doing and what their purpose in the signal chain is. But for the most part, because each pedal, depending on what it's doing, might need its own buffer. So your mileage may vary. I know that's not really an answer, but it kind of is. 2 guitars, only 2. Oh no, because you need one with a single humbucker, you need one with 2 humbuckers, and you need one with a single P90, and you need one with 2 P90s, and you might even need one with 3 P90s. So there's 5 right there at least. Right? I mean, come on, man. Okay, this is an interesting one. I wanted to bring this up, not because to point out that this dude was wrong, but this is a misconception that a lot of folks have. So let's talk about this real quick. We're talking about fret leveling, okay? And he says, I'm not trying to be obnoxious, but you'll get a better results and save time if you measure neck relief and straightness once you're strung up and tuned to pitch. The 60 to 200 pounds of tension that the strings put on the neck can cause a substantial amount of relief, or at least enough to affect how your guitar feels and plays. This is all true so far. The gauge of the string, the size of the neck, the type of wood, etc., are all factors that will contribute to how much your neck will be affected by tension. He is absolutely right about all of this. Neck relief, okay? The neck relief needs to be according to the amount of string tension, the tuning, and etc. Right? We know this. It's very important. However, when we're talking about fret leveling, we do not want to have strings on the guitar, and we want to make sure that with no strings on the guitar, the neck is completely flat. We do not want to check fret level, not neck relief. That's different. We do not want to check fret level with strings on the guitar. Okay. That would be very bad. What would end up happening is you would end up taking a bunch off of both ends and having a hump in the middle. And it would completely ruin everything. Okay. 5 guitars, the minimalist in me is going nuts. I think you have to have 5 guitars. I think 5 is the perfect number for a lot of things. 5 motorcycles, 5 guns, 5 pocket knives, 5 guitars, 5 cars. I think 5 is a good number for a lot of stuff. That's my opinion. Did you see the news on the Kemper Player software upgrade? Yeah, apparently you have to pay for it or something. I didn't look at it yet. Yeah, I didn't look at it yet. I want a Strat with a P90 neck, single middle, and a humbucker bridge. We could do that. It costs a little extra because we have to actually custom cut a pick guard for that, but we can do it. That's not a problem. The only thing is, let's see. No, you could 5 amps, maybe. Just a Kemper. Only 5. Yeah, 5 guns wouldn't be able to do it. You're right. I'd probably need more than that. 5 girlfriends. I mean, as long as your wife doesn't mind, I guess it doesn't matter. Regular Strat knobs. So 5, or I apologize. Those 3 pickups in that guitar would work. When you put a P90 in the bridge position of a Strat, you have to ditch the volume knob. And if you wanted to ditch the volume knob, we could do that too. When I order the pick guard and I have it cut, we would just have to, put a bunch of notes on there and make sure that it's right. No, not 5 wives, 5 girlfriends. There is a big difference. I wouldn't want neither of those things. One that I have is pretty dang awesome. Mostly because she lets me have as many guns as I want, as many knives as I want, as many guitars as I want, etc. I don't have to worry about any of that. All right. Let's see. Let's look at this next question. Talking about plain enamel versus poly. This is an old video, but a lot of people really have a lot of thoughts on this. The guy winding matters. That's why only a few have long wait times and others do not. Why some winders are used by studio musicians and others are not. But yeah, go right on ahead and tell yourself you know all. You don't. And you'll never even begin to learn when you think you know it all. I don't think I know it all. Man, there's so much fun in learning all this stuff. I will say, I know this guy's trying to make a dig, but we don't have, if we just parse this out just a little bit. We don't have wait times most of the time. Like right now we do because of the hurricane. We're getting caught up. I would say by Thursday or so, we should be pretty caught up because of the hurricane and the power outage. And the biggest problem with the hurricane, the power outage only lost me a couple of days. It's the no mail. We didn't have shipping for 5 or 6 days. So that was the biggest problem. I could not reliably track anything. I could put it in the mailbox and it would disappear, but then I would not be able to, I didn't want to put thousands of dollars worth of pickups because it's literally that much, thousands of dollars worth of pickups in the mailbox. And then all of a sudden they disappear and now I have to make them again. So we had to wait for the mail service to get back trackable and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, we're caught back up. So usually we're about 2 weeks. That's not because of lack of demand. We do make hundreds of pickups a month here at Dylan Talks Tone. We have just structured things so that you don't have a wait time. that is exorbitant. Now, there are certain things like some special order stuff and some short run stuff, like this Cerakote stuff took a really long time. But most of everything that we order or that we make on the website can be gotten in a couple of weeks. I feel it's really important because that's the way I would want it. I want to make sure that I'm doing something that I could support, right? I have a couple of products. I have a pistol that I want to order. I think it's going to take 10 months to get it. Man, I don't know if I want to do it because I don't want to wait. Is it going to be worth it? Probably. But I would not make you wait that long. I just don't think that's reasonable. I don't think long wait times should be part of your business plan. Even if it's because of demand, I don't think that it should be part of your business plan. At least that's the way I feel about it for us. So we will not have those sorts of wait times. Why some winders are used by studio musicians. We have pickups all over Nashville. You have heard them on the radio, I promise. And of course, you know, the know-it-all thing's kind of funny because nobody knows it all. I learned something this morning. Pretty fantastic, actually. I'm not going to share it with you right now, but let's see. Okay. Hang on. We're still going. I think this is the last one. Do String Joy Orbiter coated electric strings feel normal? I'm never buying these again. I bought some for the first time, and some of the thinner strings had corrosion, which you could barely see, but you could feel. I usually make sure none of my strings have corrosion before stringing by passing the length each through my fingers. The G, B, and the E had corrosion. So did you return them? Did you call String Joy and ask about this? Their customer service is fantastic. It's absolutely incredible. Those guys are really good at what they do. And if there was corrosion on a string, Scott would want to know. And he would want to understand what was going on so that he could correct it. This type of thing is something that I think we as guitar players could probably, or I know, could do a lot better. Instead of being whiny a-holes on the internet, just address the problem like an adult. If you get a guitar from Sweetwater, from Musician's Friend, from Guitar Center, from wherever, and it's not right, put in a ticket and get it handled. No problem. Yeah, it sucks. Yes, it does. It sucks. It sucks that you were super excited to get that guitar today and now you got to deal with it. But the only way all this stuff is going to get better is if you stop bitching about it on the internet and actually return it and get it fixed. The people that make the guitar want to know. The people that sell the guitar want to know. And we don't care if your guitar sucked. We want you to be happy with it. I mean, that's the thing. You could say something on the internet about it like this guy did. And I understand his position. I get it. I recommended him something and now he's like, hey man, these things suck. But do they really? Or was there a problem or something that could be addressed? Stop whining and just fix it. That's what we do in all other areas of life. Now, if you're the kind of person who gets super angry about everything all the time, you know, if there's not enough sugars in your McDonald's coffee or whatever, or if you get really mad at the return lady at Ross Dress for Less or at Walmart, then chances are you have a approach to life that differs from mine. But for the most part, especially if you spend a lot of money on something, don't whine about it. Don't complain about it. Just get it fixed. They want to know. They want to make a good product. Nobody makes a good product on purpose. I mean, a bad product on purpose that is a reputable brand. If it's bad, just ask about it and get it fixed. End of story. Let's see. Which of your pickups would you recommend for a Les Paul? I play a lot of Southern rock. My Explorer, I have a set of Planetone Southern Heritage. Yeah, I'm very familiar with them. I would say our DAFs you would really like, and our center punches you would really like. But I personally would put DAFs in a Les Paul. That Planetone guy is the only pickup company in the world up to this point that will get on the internet and say bad things about me. Let's see. I wasn't even thinking about changing my Gem Junior pickups until I saw your Paisley laser etch. Dude, okay, so if you in your Gem Junior, I would put a set of our Super 8s with those covers. That'd be super cool. We should do a Vine. We could do a Vine. That would be really neat. That'd be neat too. I'd have to look at that, but we could do a Vine. Yeah, I'd get the DAFs for that. For sure. To me, one Stratocaster is enough. Yeah, one Stratocaster and a Silver Sky. Then I'm good. That's what I have. No, I have three. I have 3 Strats and a Silver Sky. Let's see. If I ordered a cover for my Center Punch 8, would it be hard to install and should it be waxed? That depends on what you play. If you're just playing around the house, it probably won't be a big deal. But if it's got a cover on it now and you just want to swap it around, like put something with a cool cover on it, chances are there's enough wax in there that when you solder the new one on, it will heat it up enough to sort of like reseat it. Otherwise, you can just like shred off a bunch of candle in it and then just heat it up and seat it in there. That's what I would do. The number one thing that keeps you putting Dylan pickups and guitars is the clarity. Dude, I appreciate that, man. Because that's the thing. When I started doing this 11 years ago, that was the thing that I wanted to fix more than anything. I had a Stratocaster made in Japan in 1985. It was my first Strat. And I had tried like 3 different sets of pickups. I had tried lace sensors. I tried all kinds of stuff. And the thing I wanted to fix was that. And then at that point, I did not have a lot of money for guitars, right? So I was playing super inexpensive, like Epiphone, SG and stuff like that. And the humbuckers were just mud balls, And so fixing the clarity was the thing. That was the number one thing that it bugs me more than anything. And so that's what I really wanted to fix. Non-scented. No, dude. I used scented candles for the longest time. No lie. For about 3 years, we scented our wax pot just because it made the office smell nice. With speakers, do you like the polyprop or the traditional paper? I don't care. If it sounds good, it is good for me on that. And I don't know that I necessarily worry about it that much. On my hi-fi speakers, that's another thing. Like, I have Martin Logan's in the living room, and I don't care what they are, as long as whatever technology it is getting me the result that I want. Otherwise I don't care. It doesn't like, And I think that's the way it is for all this stuff for me. I don't care what it actually is. So like, let's say, for example, a capacitor or what brand the pot is. If I want lower effort pots, then I'll put Borns in it. If I want something that I know is going to have some corrosion and stuff, maybe a guy's going to play it at the beach or whatever, I'm going to put some CTS in it. If, you know what I mean? Like, I care more about the end result than the actual, like, this one's better than that one. Because I don't think in quality guitar parts that they're, and this is why, another reason why I don't do cheap stuff. Because I don't have to make a decision on whether something's good enough or not. Everything that we sell on Dylan Talks Tone is good, right? Even if it's not mine. Even if it's Borns, CTS, Gavit wire, Switchcraft switches, Pure Tone jacks, whatever. It's all good stuff. We have paper and oil caps. We have orange drop caps. We have Switchcraft jacks. We have Pure Tone jacks. We have whatever. Borns, CTS, all that. I don't care which one it is. Because a lot of people will say, well, like that, it's a legitimate question, right? Like, which one's better, this or that? There isn't. They're all awesome. Everything we have is good, right? And everything out there right now in guitar land, down to a certain level, is good. And so now you're just like, what is my use case? You know, what is my philosophy of use for this item? Is it going to be a live guitar? Is it going to be a guitar that I'm going to play at the beach all the time and I don't want to spend a lot of money? Is it going to be something that I never take out of the house and I really want to just enjoy it as an heirloom? Is it something that, right? Like, what are we doing with it? And then buy the thing that fits the purpose. Unless you're just doing it for fun and you just want to buy a thing that's cool. If people would just start buying stuff that's cool, we would not have to have these conversations. You know why? Because it wouldn't matter how good it is because you think it's cool. If you think the guitar is cool, that's all that matters. So I don't care. I don't know what speakers are in any of my amps. Because I don't care. Like I don't at all whatsoever. I don't even know what's in my Martin Logans, actually. The reason I bought my Martin Logan hi-fi speakers is because they have these, I thought the technology was really neat and it sounded really good. They have these like folded ribbon tweeters that are really cool. That's why I bought them, because I think they're awesome. I don't know about the rest of them. I mean, I know about Martin Logan stuff. They're electrostats and all that stuff, but yeah. Is somebody giving me a hard time about scented candle wax? I'm thinking Telly with a P90 in the neck and what in the bridge? Humbucker? I would say, so a humbucker, I would say a Super 8, but I would personally put a Telly in the neck and Telly pickup, a flat 6 Telly pickup in the bridge, and I would put a P90 in the neck. That would be super cool. Unscented candle would probably be best. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I wouldn't use crayons because crayons are hard. Candle wax stays soft enough for it to work right. Let's see. I did have some Bearded Cigarettes candles that were pretty cool, but I tried to buy some more this weekend and they were gone. Are you still happy with your Tone Master? Yeah, absolutely. I love it. It's right there. Yep. Absolutely love it. I don't want a cap. No cap. That's really funny. I agree on the clarity on the DTT. I have the P90s, DAF, center punch, smoothies. And they have more note definition of anything I've played. Thanks, man. Are the Enduro and Slant 6 the same? No. The Slant 6 is a humbucker. The Enduro is a single coil. Also, are there anything cool you could do with their covers like the others that you have been coming out with? The Enduros are easy. Yeah, there's a bunch of neat stuff coming out with the Enduros. We're doing all kind of stuff. Just keep an eye on the website and you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. And if there's something you want in particular, you know, if you have a guitar, let's say you have a guitar that's red and you want to put something complimentary in there, send me a message and tell me, hey, I don't mind buying the material, because if you like it, somebody else might like it too. Right. So, if you say, hey, I want, swirly, something that looks like cotton candy, I'll be like, all right, let me see if I can find that material, and I'll go buy it. And, we'll put it in your guitar, and then somebody else might want it too. The purple swirl stuff's been super popular. We've had to buy that material like 3 times. So I get them in 12 by 24 inch sheets. And so, you can make a fair amount of pickups out of that. But when somebody wants a pick guard, then that takes it up, So that stuff I usually cut a couple at a time, because depending on who orders what, you use the material differently and stuff. But yeah, man, we can do all kind of things. Now on the Slant 6, we can put those in a nickel cover, and we can engrave a plain nickel cover with no holes. That's how that would work. It would be a plain nickel cover with no holes, and it would be anything you want. Damascus. I'm working on right now. What I'm working on right now is I've got a bunch of geometric patterns, kind of like pistol stippling and stuff. Really, really neat, kind of like geometric patterns. And what I'm going to do, I think, is we're going to have like a drop down box on a listing. So basically you'll be able to pick the position, so neck or bridge or whatever. And then you'll be able to pick the model of pickup, whether it be center punch, 8-ball, DAF, whatever, Thruxton, whatever. And then you'll be able to pick from a drop down of designs. Oh, I want a bunch of exclamation points. Oh, I want a, bunch of boobs, or, whatever it is, whatever the, patterns are, you'll be able to pick. I want pattern C5, and I want it on a neck pickup in a Super 8. So I'm working on something like that, because some of this stuff, we do these short runs and we do these various things, and people are like, I could tell they're sort of into it, but we're not making the thing that they want yet. So they haven't bought anything. And I kind of want to be this. I want to do this. I want to make neat things. And the more it gets around that we're doing it, I'm hoping that people start to catch on. Not only are our pickups really good, now you can actually have something cool. And I know not everybody's going to be into that, and they just want normal, traditional looking stuff, which is totally fine. But nobody's doing it quite like this, So it's something that I'm really passionate about. It's something that I've been thinking about for years. I've wanted to get a laser for probably 5 years. And so now doing it, man, it's so cool. Wait till you see the project that Brianna and I are working on. This video will come out probably on Monday. You think we're doing something cool now. If you're on Patreon, you have already seen it. But wait till you see what's coming up. It is awesome. Chrome mud flap ladies. I mean, I'll do it. If you want me to do it, I will do it. I think it's funny and cool and fun. Yeah. If you're going to do Nashville, how would you personally do your controls? So the stock Nashville, I just shipped 2 of them today. The stock Nashville thing's basically like a Strat with 2 knobs. That's pretty much what they are. So you're saying there is no significant tonal difference. That was my question. From what? I didn't see that question, or maybe I missed that. Sorry, Don. Dan, hang on 1 second. I'm going to scroll back here and see if I can find it. Oh, with speakers. I don't know. As far as the speaker thing goes, I don't know, because I don't care. That's something I just don't think about. I don't put enough thought into it because I'm so busy thinking about this other stuff. I let other people worry about it. On the amp and speaker side, and I know it makes a big difference, right? We all know it does. But it's just not where I spend my time. That's just an area that I don't really spend my time. Mostly because I don't want to further confuse people. There's already enough parts in the guitar that people want me to make thousands of videos about. And there's only like 27 parts in an electric guitar, but for some reason we have 1,400 videos for 11 years and we're still not done. I just don't want to add more to that. Let the amp person deal with that side of it. You know, I don't want to discourage people. Pinup Girls. I've been looking at Pinup Girl patterns. The problem with it is they got to be right, because remember you're not doing it in multicolor. So it's a trick to get some of this stuff to look right in a monochrome. But that is not out of the question, because I'm a Pinup Girl fan. You know, I have Pinup Girls on a couple of my guitars, and I really think that would be very cool. I absolutely agree. Speakers get into a whole big ball of wax. Yeah, I mean, it's its own. Obviously, there's people that understand that, right? A dragon pickguard with matching neck. So, okay, it's the year of the dragon. All the fountain pen companies have like special year of the dragon stuff. And it's something that I want to do. I want to do something year of the dragon. And I think because I already know we're going to call it the tail of the dragon, because that's a motorsports related thing, because it's a road. But I haven't found the right design. I haven't figured out the way to actually implement it yet into a pickup. But I'd like, if you think that you would buy something dragon themed, I need to know, because I really want to do it. I just haven't quite figured it out yet. Yeah. Super fun. You guys, this is super fun. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate all of this. This has been a lot of fun today. And I guess we will see you in the next video.